Welcome to the SpaHive Podcast. We're your hosts, Julie Pankey
and MaryAnn, spa leaders, business strategists, and business besties who are pulling back the curtain on what it actually takes to grow a business and a life you don't secretly want to escape from.
This is where leadership meets honesty, where revenue meets relationships, and where we talk about the things no one puts on Instagram.
So, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a high achiever who's building something meaningful, but also navigating team dynamics, burnout, boundaries, and big goals, you're in the right place.
No highlight reels, no sugarcoating, just real conversations, practical strategy, and a little laughter along the way. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to the SpaHive Podcast. I'm Julie Pankey, your host with my business bestie and co-host, MaryAnn. Good morning, MaryAnn. How are you this lovely rainy morning here in southern Maine?
Good morning, Julie Pankey. Good morning to our listeners. I'm doing good. It's not rainy here. It's cloudy. The clouds are probably going to go away. It'll probably be bright and sunny and hot and humid. But I'm doing good. I made my coffee a little too sweet this morning, so that's annoying me, but I'm going to try to move on from that. And
Can you drink it?
Going. I mean, no. I can sip it, but...
Do you have ice in it?
Yeah, it's all melted now.
So it's not watered down enough?
No. We're going to see.
Is it sweetened with that disgusting pumpkin spice?
Yeah, it is. You know it. You know it.
It's funny because I've had people literally approach me and be like, I'm with you, pumpkin spice, no. Or, hey, I don't know why you don't love pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin spice, but only in the fall once September comes. I've gotten Facebook messages.
People are listening. I love it. I love it.
Listening, right? So today we're going to talk about
decision making.
Odd things that we're really good at making decisions about. Decision making. So,
yeah.
Fun fact, I'm a Libra, so my birthday is coming up in October, in case anybody wants to know. Libras classically are not quick decision makers.
Oh, is this where it stems from for you? Okay.
Yes. And the other day I was telling someone that I'm very analytical, and it takes me a minute. And they said, well, that must be what makes you so great at what you do. And I was like, yeah, that must be.
A little too rosy of a outlook for me.
So, we all make decisions probably all day long.
Yes. There is some statistic that as we go through our daily lives, you make 35,000 decisions or something, some insane thing.
In a day?
Yeah.
I guess. You decide if you're going to wake up, if you're going to go pee when you wake up in the middle of the night. You decide if you're going to have breakfast before you record your podcast. Yeah, I could go with that. And I feel like, making decisions definitely is a huge part of my job.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's funny because I can some really big decisions surprisingly fast.
Yes. Okay. I love this.
And then there are completely stupid little decisions that can somehow take up way too much of my brain space.
Yeah, absolutely.
That gives me August fatigue.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that go into decision making, right? So there's the actual decision, but then there's external factors. So are you in a time crunch? How big is this decision? What's your fatigue anyways? It's a known fact that you shouldn't make decisions when you're tired.
Right.
And that's usually when, you have to make some big decisions because you've maybe been going through a project or whatever it is.
Right.
So there's so much that goes into decision making, but I do find it interesting, like on big decisions, you're like, and done. And I'm done.
Yeah. Right. I'm like, yep, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now, is it more big decisions in your personal life or your professional life?
Probably professional.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, some big decisions in my personal life, I guess I can make fast, but mostly, I would say professional, because my personal, I weigh like the consequences
Yeah.
of the decision if it's a big decision, and also take into account like how the decision is going to be viewed, by the other parties that are affected, whether it's, one of my stepkids or, my mother or, whatever, like a family member.
Right.
So there's, more of a consequence, I guess, emotionally, with family decisions than like work decisions,
Yeah.
aren't, so like critical to my like life,
Right. That
I
does make
guess.
sense. Yes.
And, I think being a good decision maker doesn't necessarily mean that you make every decision quickly.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah. I could see that. Maybe it's that you're taking the decision seriously, but there's got to be a happy medium, right? Because, for example, Christian, my son, who is 6, going on 16, he has a very hard time making decisions. You take him to the Target toy aisle, and it is the biggest decision of his life.
I think that's a kid thing because they want all the things. So which thing do they want more?
It is a kid thing, but I will say,
because Layla used to do that.
Maybe it's an age thing.
Maybe it's an age thing, because then she would be like, really? I can just get one?
Oh, well, yeah.
And I'm like, yes, it's one or nothing.
Yeah, because I will say with my younger one, she is more quick to make her decisions. She knows what she wants and that's what she wants and she's done with it.
I bet it's an age thing.
I am going to see. Well, that's great. I was just hoping it was a personality thing so I wouldn't have to go through multiple times, but
no, because I'm thinking about Layla in like both stages, for example.
Yeah.
And, when she was littler, she just took, like, she was happy with what she just got. Versus the decision fatigue, of, wow, there's so many things, do I want, the big Barbie box that's like this big, that's, $60, which she didn't have concept of the money.
Oh.
But, here's the box of Barbie, with the dog and the, little vet station, or, do I want this stuffy, or
nobody knows.
How about can I get these 2 little things instead of the one big thing?
And then they become like, logical and negotiators.
I'm like, you've got one decision. You get like one toy. No, we're not going to buy 3 little toys. Even you get one little toy.
Yes.
Or the Barbie. And I can remember her being like, she wanted other things, but the box in the Barbie, like they could almost be worth the same value.
Yes.
But the Barbie box was bigger with more. Yeah. And so she chose that, I think, because it was bigger, not necessarily based on like value.
Well, yeah, right. Because they don't really know sometimes.
But when she was little, she was like, all I want is a Polly Pocket.
I love it. I love a Polly Pocket.
With the little case that opened up.
Yeah, I loved a Polly Pocket. Oh my goodness. So Julie, okay, you are a Libra and I am a Leo. I don't know what that meant. And we loosely look at astrology, right? So we're not like making our big research points about astrology, but they're kind of interesting, right? So Julie, Leos are stereotyped as weighing both sides, seeking balance and fairness, wanting everyone considered, and occasionally getting stuck because multiple choices seem equally valid. I don't know if that's you.
Well, I'm a Libra.
Yeah, I know. That is, yes, it just
Oh,
said
you said
Libra.
Leo.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I meant Libra.
And I was like, yeah, I never heard that about Leos, but okay.
Oh, no. Okay. So yeah, no,
Yes. Because
Libra.
Libras are famously associated to indecision.
Yes. And it says, I am a Leo. MaryAnn is a Leo. Leos are stereotyped as confident and decisive, willing to trust themselves, and sometimes deciding first and figuring out the details afterwards. Which I don't know if I fully believe that either. I feel like with astrology, there's like bits and pieces you can take and mold it to you, right? And maybe that's why it's so popular.
I mean, I'm definitely a classic Libra, 100%. And according to astrology, MaryAnn should have this entire episode wrapped up in 4 minutes. And I will still be deciding whether I agree with the premise of it.
Well, yeah, that could be definitely true.
And that
That would
happens
definitely be true.
every single podcast.
I'm like, we have to move along. All right. So, Julie, what are some random things that you feel you can make decisions pretty quickly on?
I have to think about that. No, just
Well,
kidding.
not this question then. Not this question. Got it. Okay.
If I like a book,
Yep.
I immediately know. If I want to read a book, because I do not choose books that I think I'm not going to like.
Yep.
Whether I like a hotel that I'm at,
Yes, I could see that.
whether I'm going to like the person that I'm interviewing as a new hire.
Wow, you make that one quick.
Yeah, sometimes I'll hire them. This happened not that long ago, and I had a gut check, and I was like, I like the person, but I get a vibe, and I can't shake the vibe. And so I actually had someone else interview the person, and, I said, like my gut just tells me no. So I had somebody else interview, and they were like, I say we give it a try. I'm like, okay. Dude, no-showed on their second shift.
Yep.
And I was like, see, I should always stick to my gut. And I liked the person a lot. It's just I got this vibe that there was something else going on. You know what I mean? That it may have been a right fit at another time, but I think it was a wrong fit at that time because of whatever was going on with this person. And I don't know what it was, but I just got the vibe that something was. So generally I can make that decision pretty quickly. The thing is, sometimes what takes longer in the decision is, do we want to give it a try anyway?
Right. Okay.
And 9 out of 10 times it doesn't work out. So I should know the answer.
Yeah, you should. Why are we giving it a try? It's a waste of time and a waste of money.
How about you? What are some things you can make a decision quickly? Usually I can decide something I'm going to eat at a restaurant because I mostly eat the same things all the time when I go to a restaurant. However, I do sometimes hem and haw for a really long time because I don't want to always get the same thing. So I try to get something else, but I'm never as happy with it.
Things like in my life that I've been very quick to make decisions on. And it is interesting because I know in the beginning you brought up big decisions you feel like you can easily make. And I will say that was the same for me. When we were house shopping, I knew when I walked into our current home, I was like, okay, this is the one, right? This is it. This is what I want. This is what we need. This is it. And I was like, done. Or when I went wedding dress shopping, there's some people that go back and forth and they keep looking. And I knew exactly when I put it on and I'm done. And I think it was the second dress I put on and everybody was like, well, do you want to put on more?
Yeah, mine with Gary was the first dress I tried on. It almost always is in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
you
the
just
more
put
you
it
look
on.
and the more you try, the more confused you get.
Yeah. And so I did placate those with me, right? And I did try on other ones, but the whole time I was like, yeah, okay, this is fun, but let's go to lunch because our decision's already made.
Right. But it's getting to that point. I feel like, yes, I too, would know, immediately. When we bought our house in Georgetown, I was like, this is us. This is meant for us. But then there's getting to the point of saying, like, do we want to buy a house?
Yeah.
You know, for us, it was a second house. Like, do we
Right.
want to do it? Should we do it? Now is now the time to do it? It's getting to that place. Like, you know, can we afford it? Like, what's it going to be like? It was during I mean, we had talked about it for years, like
Yeah.
probably 3 years. We're like, let's get something, you know, on the coast, closer to the coast, you know, on the water, and let's see what we could find. And then it just happened to be COVID that popped up in the opportunity, and we're like, should we do it? Like, what?
Right.
You know, it's that decision. It was like a 3-year process of should we do it? Should we not do it? And then when we walked into this house, I mean, we didn't even walk into the house. I drove down the driveway and I was like, yep, this is it.
This
You know,
is it.
because we had to renovate the house. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
right,
it
right.
wasn't necessarily the house. You know, it was the vibe, like
Right.
how it felt to me. But then, you know, like that getting to the decision first, and then you make the quick decision once you get there.
Yeah.
I don't
Makes sense. But I mean, some people it's a long process no matter what, you know?
I guess.
I will say, like, when it comes to things I can randomly decide pretty quickly, I would say probably yes, agreed. When I'm at a restaurant, I can usually decide pretty quickly. And I think sometimes that just has to do with decision fatigue because I've been making decisions all day long. So, like, I don't really care. You know, like, I do care, but, like, at the same time, I'm like, I can't let this decision take up any more of my space. Like, I just need to enjoy sitting down and having a meal. But I will say, like, small things like, oh, am I going to go to the park today? Or am I going to go take the kids to Splash Pad? It is like in my head, it takes me like 45 minutes to decide, which it shouldn't. And I think a lot of it has to just do with I make slower decisions when I'm tired. You know,
Right.
I'm not as confident in the decision and I maybe weigh it heavier than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Right? That's usually,
right.
I feel like that's usually what people get stuck up on is like some decisions, yes, are pretty big and heavy, but other decisions that we have in our mind that take up so much space are really insignificant, right?
Right. And I think a lot of times it comes into, do I feel like doing this?
Right.
You know, because maybe it doesn't have to be a decision, right? Like I make a decision each morning, you know, do I feel like going for a walk or not versus making it a non-decision. I wake up and go for a walk, you know,
Right.
or I get up, you know, I wake up and do, you know, some strength training. No, I make it a decision. Like I don't feel like it. So then I decide not to do it versus making it a non-decision that it's just what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's a good
I'm
point
going to
because
try that.
yeah, like if you've already said, okay, this is what I'm doing, then there's no hemming and hawing back and forth, right? You don't have to think about, okay, in the morning, am I going to have a slow morning today or am I going to get up and try to do, you know, morning routine type of morning? You've already decided, maybe in a better state of mind, what this was going to look like. And then it takes off some of that mental pressure.
Right. All right. So I think we were going to play a game.
Yes, let's play a game. All right, who makes these decisions faster? And let's go. Okay, so what restaurant we're going to eat at?
Who makes it faster? Probably you.
I don't make decisions on restaurants or what we're going to eat when I'm with you. I try so hard not to, and then you're always like, well, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? But you are more particular about your food.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of times I'll say, well, I don't care.
Yeah, and you're like, and you do this and you say, well, I don't want to make another decision. And I totally get that.
Right.
But then at the same time, you are just more particular about your food.
Yes. And Gary says I do pick out better restaurants because I spend a lot of time researching them.
Okay, vacation destination. Do you make that fast or slow?
Slow.
Yeah. I think I'd probably make it slow. Unless somebody like right now was like, Like if my sister showed up to my door here, maybe they're listening. If they showed up to my door and were like, all right, you and George just go away for the night, I would not need to make it. Like, I would just be like, I don't care. Let's go. And I grab my bag and I'm out the door. Do I even need a bag? I don't even know.
And then where would you go? Wherever? Just drive to wherever?
Yeah, there's this one place that's pretty close that I like that we would probably just go to because it's an easy decision. We don't have to waste any more time on it.
Right. See, and I would say, well, where should we go? Should we go to Boston? Which hotel should we stay? Should we go to this one or this one? So yeah, I was just thinking this morning about a vacation. Because I was thinking maybe I should go to iSpa in 2027, and it's in Las Vegas, which I hate. But then I was like, well, maybe Gary and I could piggyback it and go to like one of the national parks or something. But then when I looked at the date, it's March 3rd through the 5th. So then Gary's birthday is March 5th. And we're still going to be in South Carolina then.
Right.
So looks like I won't be going. iSpa friends.
She's told you now, so don't ask her again. Got it? Womp womp. All right, let's see. Paint color.
It's a slow decision for me.
It's a fast decision for me. I just know what I want.
Yeah, but then you don't know how it's going to look in the lighting. You have to see it in the morning light and in the afternoon light. And
I would be like, yeah, it looks good.
It just looks weird sometimes when you think it's going to look good and you're like, nope, it's a little grayer than I thought it was going to be. So I definitely buy cans of sample paint and paint parts of my wall to decide.
Yeah, no.
However, when I picked my house color, it was boom. This is the color, and this is the trim color, and this is the color I want on the shutters.
Because you probably already envisioned it.
Well, I think because it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different than if you're just like doing a room.
That's true.
You know, like especially a small room like a bathroom.
Yeah, I could understand that.
I do a lot of research.
Yeah. Nope.
And I usually can narrow it down.
Yeah. But you also have more of like a design eye, I will say, than I probably do. Like my design, like my sense of what I like is just less design is essentially it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really compute into my everyday life because there's so much junk in my house. But it's not me, it's the children. So there's that. Let's see. Okay, hiring or firing someone. I mean, I would say for me, it's not really applicable. I don't really hire or fire people. Yeah. I would say for you though, we've already talked. You've got a pretty good sense of the hiring part. Now the firing part is hard.
Girl, the firing part becomes very difficult.
Yeah, I would say, like, I think you would like to say you could easily make a decision.
I know if I want to fire them.
You know if you want to, yes, but you don't know if you...
Exactly. You can't necessarily always act on it when you want to.
Yeah.
You have to have all your duckies in a row.
Yeah. Are you trying to tell me something?
Even if your state is an at-will state, right? And I live in an at-will state, still bad practice to hire anyone without progressive disciplinary action.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Not just because they suck.
Let's see. Buying a car.
I mean, for me, it's easy.
Yes.
I don't even drive it or go see it. I call our dealer and I'm like, hey, I'm ready. Or he calls us the last time. He's like, hey, I need a used car and Julie's probably ready for a upgrade. So do you want to swap? And I now trust them. I mean, we've been working with the same dealership for 15 years.
Yes.
And, I say, this is what I want. This is the color I want. This is the interior I want. This is the features I want. He says, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
This is how much it's going to be. And then I haggle.
It's the same process every time. Yes, right. Yeah, I feel like
Like,
with the
you're going to
car,
be paying our taxes, right? He's like, of course I am. I'm like, and you're going to be doing this. And he's like, Julie, like this, it's the same thing every time. Yes.
you never got to leave that job. He can't ever leave. I
He
feel
owns
like
the dealership, so I don't think
perfect.
he
You're all
will.
set. Yeah, I feel like sometimes buying a car is one of those like, well, what life stage are you at, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you might have like, well, you know exactly what you want, right? But maybe someone in your position, right? You've had multiple cars, a little later on in life, you could really have a pick of quite a few cars, right? And
Uh-huh.
then there's other people, right? Like me, I would have probably less of cars to pick from, right? And there's other people other than me that would have even less cars that they could pick from.
Right, right,
So buying a car, I feel like is it's like buying a house, sort of like kind of specific, like, okay,
right.
well, how many do you have to pick from type of deal?
Yeah, and I think, a few of the team members I work with, and I won't specifically even describe them, are in the position that they would like to buy a new car. And they know what car they want to buy. Well, one of them knows, the other one not so sure, maybe knows, but are deciding the right time to do it. Like when you want to have a car payment because they don't necessarily have a car payment now.
Yeah.
And what, the vehicle that you want, like what is the car payment going to be? And do you want to save more money so that you put a bigger down payment so
Right.
that, your car payment is less?
Yeah.
So, I feel like, again, it's back to that house thing. It's not necessarily like what they want to buy as their new car. Like it's when is the right time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
And then others,
Um,
yeah, are just like, someone shows up the next day with, one of our massage therapists had a brand new truck, and less than a year later, he shows up with a brand new other truck, and he's like, I got a new truck. And I'm like, but you just got a new truck. And he's
yeah.
like, yeah, but now I got something bigger. And, I didn't like, I liked the one I had, but it was too small and it was too this and too that. And he had paid a higher interest rate because his credit wasn't as good and he had been working on his credit. So now his credit was great. So he traded it
Well, that
in,
makes sense.
same brand, and
Yeah.
then upgraded to a bigger truck with a lower interest rate. So his payment was almost the same
I
for an
mean,
upgraded truck.
that's one
And
way to do it.
boom, boom, boom. It was like decision. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah. It's, let's see. Okay. Sending an email, you're overthinking. So I know 100% who makes this decision faster, me or you.
You.
I do not.
You totally do.
I always
Because
overthink
because
emails.
even when I give you advice, you don't take it.
Okay, that was one instance. Okay.
So I am a fast reactor.
You are a fast reactor. Yes.
And I am better at not sending my fast reaction emails right away
Now you are.
than I once was.
There you go.
People don't always understand your tone.
Yeah.
And when I send an email, and lots of times a text, it's just matter of fact. Like you asked me a question, I answered it. Like that's it. Like there's nothing more into it than that. Like sometimes I will send an email back that says yes. And people
Yeah.
don't like that. People think that I'm being passive aggressive, which I'm not. You asked me a question, I answered it, which is yes. What more do you want me to say?
What more do you need from me?
Exactly, because I'm making 30,000 decisions a day.
Yes.
So you ask me a question and the answer is yes or no. Or sometimes I'll say, I'll get back to you on that.
Or go blow out your nose.
Right. So, yeah.
Or sometimes you just ignore that one question and you proceed to the next question they asked. Julie
Sometimes.
Pinky.
But I don't usually like dwell on it.
No, I wouldn't say you dwell on it. I will say if it's like something big, you think about it, but I don't think to the point where you're dwelling on it.
Yeah.
And I think it's also just like the nature of like where you are in your career also. Like you have probably in the past spent time dwelling on things like that, you know? And
Right.
now
Right.
you're like, all right, well, in the grand scheme of things, I got myself out of whatever that was, right? And so I know if it all just blew up, you know, like it probably will be fine type of deal.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. Last one. Whether to say yes to an opportunity. Who is going to make that decision faster, me or you?
You.
Me. What's the opportunity? That sounds exciting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I do say yes to opportunity because I think it's like something shiny and new. And then half the time it just comes back to bite me.
Right. I think that I have, and I mean, you've evolved with me. I think that I have evolved to being able to say no better. I feel like I used to say yes to like a lot of opportunities, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, yeah, let's try it. Ooh, yes. Now I say no to a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, now I almost don't even entertain a lot more.
Now I don't even entertain people. Yeah.
That, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not even going to have that phone call because, I don't want to waste my time to have the conversation of something that I have no interest of doing. And I feel like maybe, I don't know, but maybe, like as you get older, have we gotten better at justifying our yeses, like knowing what we want to spend our time on and knowing what is like not worth the time commitment that, the toll that it's going to take on, other aspects maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. I also think sometimes with these things, I'm an optimist, which is rare, but maybe I'm optimist. So I see like a future in that opportunity. And so then I'm more gung ho about it. And then it just falls flat.
Yeah.
Because people are dumb.
I think, but I also think that it's also like what we said, like where we are in our lives and careers too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, well, really, are you more optimistic than I am? But in opportunities, you'll be like, but this might be good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
It's not worth my time. I'm too tired. I have too much going on, and then sometimes I will like, you'll like spin it on, but it could be good for this or it could be good for that. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Which 5 years ago, 7 years ago, right? I would be like, and let's do this. And then we're going to do that. And then after that, we're going to do this. And then we're going to build that. And then let's do a new website that creates all of it together. And you're like,
and then I need a new website.
And you're like, oh my God.
It's always, I need a new website.
How can we do this?
How can we do it?
How can we do this all? And I'm like, we can do it.
And we did. I mean you.
Did do it. And we did do it. But now I find, like my time feels more valuable.
Yeah.
And I think like we've gone through different evolutions of our lives, right? Because 10 years ago, like I was in like the prime of building it and you were pre-kids.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in I just want to enjoy life and I want a work-life balance and blah, blah, blah. And you're also in that era because you've got kids to, raise and that keep you busy. So you can't do as much. And I'm also in the position that I don't want to do as much. So then we're still synergistic, even though we're in different phases.
Okay, we're still synergistic. Oh my goodness. That is
All
so
right.
nice.
Okay, so in this segment, we're going to answer simultaneously. Simultaneously?
Nope, that sounds weird.
No, that's how you say it.
Not simu.
It is simultaneously.
No, it's no.
Yes.
I don't know how to say it, but I know it's not that.
Look at the spelling.
All right.
SIMU.
I can see I can see the spelling, but still not pronunciation is not there. Okay. So we are each going to answer at the same time
Simultaneously.
about ourselves. Yes.
Okay. And what are we going to answer? We're going to answer
At the same time.
yes or no, MaryAnn or Julie?
No, what we're going to answer the like fast or slow or, like what it says.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, fast or slow are we? Here we go. Are we fast or slow decision makers?
And then I answer for myself.
Yes, you answer for yourself.
Slow.
It depends.
Well, it's fast or slow. It didn't say fast or slow or medium.
Yeah, well, I play devil's advocate,
Yeah, well, I mean, it also depends for me, but if I had to follow the instructions that said fast or slow,
All right,
I would
fine.
say
If we're
slow.
going to follow the instructions, I'm going to say fast.
Okay.
All right, gut or research?
Also depends, but I'm
Gut.
going to go with gut.
Yeah. More options or just give me 3?
Just give me 3.
Just give me 3. Yep. Sleep on it or decide now?
Sleep on it.
Decide now. Ask 5 people or ask nobody?
I'm going to say ask 5 people, but it should be ask nobody because it then makes it harder for my decision.
I feel like I'm going to say ask nobody. Do I really do that though? I think I do that sometimes.
Ask and then it makes it harder, so I should have just went with it myself and not asked anybody.
Yes. Big decisions quickly or little decisions quickly? Big decisions quickly.
Yeah, I think we've determined big decisions quickly.
Yep. More likely to regret saying yes or more likely to regret saying no?
Regret saying yes all the time.
Regret saying yes all the time. Yep. 100%. I'm more likely to change your mind after you decided.
No, I decide 99% of the time I decide and I'm done.
Most of the time, yes. Yeah,
I mostly
would
never
say.
go back and say I should have. That's not usually in my vocabulary.
Well, I will think that, but I'll still probably follow through whatever I said yes with.
Yeah.
And I sort of think that's just a product of how we were raised, right? I feel like we just say, if we say it, we're going to do it, right? For better or for worse, half the time. That was a fun game.
And, sometimes like when you talk about like gut instincts, sometimes it's like, is it really my gut intuition? Because I always say I'm super intuitive. Or is it just that I've already seen this movie like 400 times before?
Yes. Yeah.
And I can make the decision just automatically through a gut feeling because I've already seen what happens in my deja vu.
Yeah.
So we have some science, right?
Yeah. So I came across an interesting study. And this is almost going back to what you were talking about with Layla and her shopping around, that younger age. And it's the JAM study, JAM, jam or jelly, I suppose. The famous JAM study, more choice attracted people, but less choice got them to buy, which is really interesting when you think about business. Right. And I automatically went to spa menu design because we talk about this time and time again. But in this classic experiment, shoppers encountered either 24 jams or 6 jams. The big display with the 24 jams attracted more attention, but shoppers presented with the smaller selection, so the 6 jams, were much more likely to actually make a perfect purchase. The original finding helped launch the whole conversation around choice overload.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's exactly, one of our questions in our game was, do we want more choices or do we want 3 choices?
I think that yes, because so when we were in Charleston, we went into this, there's this restaurant and they have a little gift shop. And in their gift shop, they have at least 60 flavors of salt or sugar scrub.
That's extreme.
Like at least 60.
Yeah.
Ranging from, lavender to peppermint to blueberry to rose to eucalyptus, like so many.
Yeah.
And I was like looking and I'm smelling and they're all so lovely and there's so many. And I'm like, oh, these would be, really nice gifts, to get
Yeah.
some to bring home, to have, to give people. And I'm like, but I don't know what people like or what,
Right.
like, do you like the sweetie sweet one? Do you
Right.
like, something that's, more flowery or more fruity or more naturally? And I was like, oh my God, there's just too many of these. So I bought 3 of the same in the rose scent because you know what? That was my favorite. And
Yes,
I
that would be
didn't
your
want to
favorite.
keep smelling
Yes.
melon and gingerbread house. And, it was too much. And I
Cherry
think
blossom.
that I'm starting to think more about like when you're giving them more decisions, are you giving people more homework? Like giving them homework to do. And so we're talking about spa menus. And I feel like the mentality was that someone having the opportunity to choose out of this big menu of things that fits them equals luxury.
Yes, right.
And I'm now thinking that very curated, customized one experience feels more luxurious so that
Yeah.
you don't make me sort through 47 menu items to decide what I want, but that you're going to give me something that you're going to curate for me. That is what I need. You're going to
Yeah.
give me the 3 best things that I need.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that is luxury, right? Taking the homework or the decision fatigue out of something is like, whoa, wonderful. That's so great.
Right, right.
I mean, I agree. And when I see it all the time in parenting, right? Like if you give a kid, they have 3 choices. Let's not even give them 3. Let's give them 2, right? But if you give them 2 or you give them 6, their little brains explode when they have 6 choices, right? It's just too much for their brain, right? And so, takes me back to Christian being in the toy aisle. No wonder why he has such a hard time. There are hundreds of options in front of him. So, it's just that's like consumerism. Still, people have this Maximus like idea, right? Like we all want to have the max of everything.
Right, yes.
And maybe we're slowly starting to realize like we don't need the max of everything. We don't need all the options.
Right, right. That's true. That's true.
I know. Well,
And we all spend a lot of time, I think, researching our decisions.
it's too much. I mean, that's a whole different topic in itself. There's way too much information. I mean, and you can find information to back whatever you're saying. So you
Yes.
have to, you find the information, but then you have to sort through it if you're actually looking for reliable sources, right? Yeah, it's way too much. It's too much, but we all contribute to it. So there's that.
We do, and I lay in bed at night researching stuff.
I always do. Yeah. Or whatever my newest obsession is. Right now it's the Lindsay Clancy case, but that's a different podcast.
Different
talk about that one.
Yes.
And a different podcast, because now we've run out of time, but I think it would be interesting, is to talk about decision making in men versus women. I know it's like super stereotypical, gender norms, but interesting kind of conversations to have. And then maybe even to, dilute it down a little bit further into like age, right? And how different age groups make decisions.
Yes, definitely. So what did we learn today? Apparently, good decision making has nothing to do with our zodiac sign. Unless you're a Libra standing in front of 24 jars of jam, or in my instance, 60 jars of body scrub. And then you know what? You go with what you know. When I'm standing in front of 24 jars of jam, I'm going with blueberry, strawberry, or strawberry rhubarb. That's
Oh
it.
my gosh. I thought we were talking about the scrub. And then you said you were
No,
going with the blueberry scrub. And I was like, I don't even know who you are. What are you talking about?
the
First, why
jam.
are you buying a blueberry scrub not in your home state? That just feels weird to me.
I'm buying jam.
I understand. Now we're talking about jams again. Okay, got it.
And I go with the classic.
Yes.
All right, well, that wraps us up for today. Woo, this was a marathon. Who knew it was going to be such a big topic?
Oh, you're right.
Huh?
We had a lot of decisions to make.
You too. So we hope everyone has a great week. If you enjoy our podcast, our discussions and banter and just fun conversation, share this podcast with someone you think will enjoy it. We would appreciate that. And we'll look forward to seeing you here next time live on your favorite podcast provider on the SpaHive. Bye, MaryAnn.
Bye, Julie. Bye, listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us today in the SpaHive.
If this episode sparked an idea, made you think differently, or just made you feel a little less alone in business or life, share it with someone who might need it too.
Don't forget to follow the podcast so you never miss a conversation.
And check out the show notes for links, resources, and ways to stay connected with us, including the Spa 101 course taught by our very own Julie Pinky.
We're so grateful you're part of this community.
And we'll see you next time.